I like to look for chicken that has clean and clear skin, not all that blotchy yellow stuff all over it. I also like chicken where the butcher hasn't beat it up, so there's not a lot of blood or anything like that showing on the bone lines. So this is a very nice looking piece of meat. I also like to weigh it, and my ultimate weight for when I finish is going to be about 5 ounces for each piece. So this is 3 ounces, this is 8 ounces, of which 3 I'm going to be cutting off or trimming away. And that trim is going to include that knuckle bone here on the end. And it's also going to include going across the top. And I'll be cleaning off some of the sides. And there's a muscle in here that I like to take away that tougher type of meat. If I get a piece of chicken that looks really little, and look at this package. This is a piece that looks nice, but when I weigh it, it comes in at 6.3 ounces. So it's a maybe type piece, because once I start trimming, if it gets below my minimum weight, then I'll just use it for practice. Once again, look at the skin. Clear, not all that blotchy yellow fat on there. This chicken just happens to be an organic variety, so it looks better than maybe some of your other major store brands. When I get my chicken and I've decided which pieces I'm going to use, I like to remove the skin. And I remove the skin from all the pieces because I'm going to replace it back on the pieces when I finish the process. But for the time being, I just take it off and I'll do all the skin at one time, and I'll do the trimming of all the chicken pieces together. It's just a matter of just pulling it away, and I'll put it in. You can use the trays that the chicken came in and just stick it back in there for temporary storage. The first step in trimming this chicken is I'll go and I'll wipe off the top. There's usually some slimy type stuff there. Then I'll take my knife, the bone, straight across, and I'll make a cut all the way across. Then I'll look in here. Some people say take out that vein, some say no. I just got into the habit of doing it, so I grab it if I can see it. If I can't see it, then it can stay. And it's not popping out at me right now. Then I'll take my kitchen shears and I'll trim off that excess fat that's there around the edges. Then I'll look at it, and I'll sort of take off that pointy part at the top there. Once again, look at the bone, get it straight. And because I'm not strong enough to just go through and push that down, I use a mallet. It works well for me. Sometimes you just have to be careful because you may break that bone and get it where it'll run blood, similar to what I just did on that one. Then I look and see how squared off it is, and I'll weigh it. And that's 4.4 ounces without the skin. Let's do another one. Take a paper towel and just wipe off that excess stuff that's on there. Take my bone, lay it out straight. Take the knife and just go across. Even cut. I'll look for that vein that's in there. If I see it, I'll pull it out. This one's battling me. There she goes. And I pull that out just because it has the blood on it, and sometimes, depending on how it cooks, the judge bites in there to the bone, they may accuse me of not having done meat. Take the kitchen shears and trim away that excess fat. Doesn't have to be totally clean of fat because fat is moisture. Now look at it and I'll know that, get a little piece of that vein there. Once again, take my mallet, that knuckle bone, just go through it. Any little pieces that are hanging off of it that you don't think should be there, just cut them off. Let's weigh it. That one's coming at 5.1 without the skin, so I'll go in and take a little piece of that muscle out of there. There we've got it. I just wanted to show you an example of a chicken thigh that you would not use, and that's because of all that blood around the bone. And when it cooks, it'll be darkened and it'll still be reddish looking. And this is just a piece that you can use for yourself and put in the chicken fry basket. Or the chicken stir-fry basket, I should say. The part of chicken trimming that everybody hates is the skin. And sometimes you can get nice little sections of skin and sometimes you don't. Sometimes what happens is you get skin where there's thick fat, and that does have to come off. The thinner parts, like in here, that's okay. It's just this thick part that I'm going to take off, or scrape, so to say. Matter of taking a very sharp knife and going over it and pulling that off. If I feel like it, I'll do, there's a little thick part here. Do these little edges also, because no amount of jackerding, I don't think it's going to make that any easier to come off. Then you just square it off. Get rid of these little pieces in there. And that should do it. My chicken is trimmed, weighed, and I've got 6 thighs that I put in each vacuum seal bag. I label it with the weight. This is 4.7 to 5 ounces, the type of chicken, and the date. I have my skin that I've also processed, and I put it in the parchment paper separate from the chicken, and I put it in the bag, the vacuum seal bag with the chicken, and I'll vacuum seal that and take it to the comp.